Dear self, I've heard you say many times that the people closest to you are the ones willing to tell you the truth. Not the truth that wins an argument, not just the truths that flatter you, and sometimes even the truths that hurt. The ones that come from such a place of deep care that they're willing to risk saying something that may rearrange something inside of you. The kind you can't unknow once you've heard it. The kind that quietly changes the way you walk through the world. You've said those conversations don't push you away, they bring you closer to the person who had the courage to say them. So, if you'll give me the honor, and if you'll grant me the permission, I'd like to tell you some truths. Not because they're easy, not because I expect you'll agree with all of them, but because I think they're already waiting for you. The first is this. You've spent a long time wondering whether you're afraid of intimacy. I don't think you are. You move towards people. You ache for connection. You don't want the polished version of someone's story. You want the chapters they almost skipped. You want to know the fears they whisper only to themselves. You don't run from closeness. You invite it. The thing you fear isn't love. It's what you've watched yourself become inside of it. See, somewhere along the way, love stopped feeling like something you shared. It slowly became something you felt responsible for. You don't simply love someone. You begin carrying them. You become the calm one, the planner, the protector, the one who notices, the emotional regulator, the safe place. You don't do it because someone asks you to. You do it because somewhere along the way, responsibility stopped seeming like something you practiced and quietly became someone you believed you had to be. You've called it accountability, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it's something else. Because there comes a point at because there comes a point where accountability quietly changes shape, where asking, "What's my part?" slowly becomes, "How could this still somehow become my fault?" That's not accountability anymore. Somewhere along the way, accountability quietly became self-doubt. You told me once that your counselor said you take accountability without expecting accountability from others. I don't think that's the whole story. I think you've become so open to being wrong that under pressure your own voice starts receiving the fewest votes. No wonder trusting yourself feels so difficult. You've lost more than relationships. You've lost your certainty. You trusted your judgment without thinking, then life reminded you that even thoughtful people can build beautiful things that still fall apart. That lesson was necessary. But I wonder if you keep trying to earn back a confidence that was never supposed to come back looking the same, because now every difficult decision has another question hiding behind it. Not what do I believe, but can I trust myself to know? And here's the truth. You keep saying you want to get back to yourself, but I don't think he's waiting. I think he's been calling to you for a long time, not asking you to become who you were before heartbreak, but asking you to become someone who can survive heartbreak without negotiating away his own center. And there's a difference. See, you often wait because you hope painful truths will become less true. I understand. Hope is beautiful until it starts bargaining with reality. Time is a wonderful healer, but it is a terrible judge. And some truths don't soften with waiting. They simply become more expensive. And breaking news, you are human. As much as you've pushed back against that this year, as much as that still seems unfamiliar, you're human. You will disappoint people. You will misunderstand them. You will leave some. Some will leave you. Integrity was never about avoiding pain. It was always about refusing to lie once pain arrives. And maybe this is the truth I've been trying to tell you all along. You don't need to become less compassionate. You don't need less accountability. You don't need a harder heart. You need roots. You need to become harder to separate from yourself. So that when someone you love starts losing themselves, you don't start losing yourself trying to find them. The opposite of losing yourself isn't protecting yourself. It isn't becoming colder. It isn't building taller walls. It's knowing yourself so deeply, so honestly, that love no longer requires your disappearance. I think it's time you asked a better question instead of, how do I become a better man? Maybe ask, how do I remain myself while becoming one? Sincerely, another person who loves you enough to tell you the truth.